How difficult was it to do Shaitaan? Now this is the other thing.
No, it was very easy.
Really? The Jadoo, Tona, and how much does that genre excite you? Because you
A lot. We didn't have a title for the film till we finished shooting and the publicity started. Ajay saw the film and Ajay sir, and he said that this film, it's all about Maddy and his character. So let's call it Shaitaan. And he called it Shaitaan.
What a guy, huh?
You see?
What a secure...
That euphoria that you said, what a guy with, is what
I
feel all the time when I'm in the set with him. In the last 14 years, from 2011 to almost 22, I've only done 4 films. And in the last 2 years, I've done 9 projects.
How do you choose your scripts or a movie or a project that you do?
Once the intent of making the story is correct, the director wants to tell a story, the producer believes in that story, and they both are out there to get the story out in the world, that ticks a big box in my selection process. I didn't expect to be an actor, and especially get my debut with Maddy. Okay. So during COVID, my new skill that I learned was getting the captain's license and being able to navigate a boat. And
wow, you now, sir, are a captain.
Thank you.
Right, and you have a boat.
Yes. Bro, that is if you ask me the reason for my position right now, and I think I should advocate that to you and everybody watching. Listen, please don't mistake me. I mean, India and other countries, mostly India, has a charm of its own that can never be paralleled. An excitement of being an Indian in your society, your culture, and the Ganpati
playing
pujas,
cricket in the building,
and the charm, and the neighbors sharing food, and all that is, you can never take away from that. That's something which is brilliant. I love it.
I just said it.
Are
you doing the research there in India?
All
right
done.
Now?
The product is ready.
And
I'm
you're getting it
launching
here?
it, yeah. Absolutely.
Another...
First, I'll make you taste it and see if it's worth it or not. Oh no! I'm making a video on that, and you should understand the reason why timely eating was first invented.
Yes.
And the dubious reason behind it. You cannot prove me wrong.
Sir, we've been cruising in the Ford F-150, a vehicle that's all about power, versatility, and creating your own adventure. The best part about this car, you would appreciate it, is that you can have a motorcycle in the back.
That is true.
Yes.
Do you?
I have many motorcycles. I don't have a motorcycle in the back right now.
Oh, right,
yeah, and that's one thing that I saw when you shifted to Dubai. Your passion for biking kind of reignited, can I say that?
Well, it was ignited when I was in Bombay, and I hit my 40s really hard, so I bought a few of them. Nice. And then I brought them all over here.
This is last year, guys. Last year.
How sweet of you. One place that you can really enjoy your rides, meditate on the road, drive to places for no reason.
Yeah, that's for the reason of the ride itself. Okay.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Okay.
So, welcome to the Dubai journey, driven by Ford.
Thank you very much.
I am so excited to have you on because getting time with you, just chit-chatting is an honor for somebody who's grown up in India. You're an actor, an entertainer, storyteller, writer, director, and that for me, I'm actually wearing an ISRO t-shirt. I wore a jacket on it.
Oh, nice.
Because I know, growing up in India, you grew up in Jamshedpur, ties with one of the biggest, industries in India, and growing up as an Indian boy and just making a mark in the world. So proud to be, sitting with you, and now excited to pick your brains on it.
You're very kind. I mean, this is surreal for me every time I hear all that you said. It just, I feel blessed. Believe it or not, every morning I get up and I pray. The most overwhelming attitude or the feeling that I have is of ultimate gratitude. I keep saying, thank you. Why me? I'm just so overwhelmed by all the blessings.
The Ford F-150 is built for serious adventure, whether it's cruising through the city or conquering the toughest terrains. Whether it's off-roading prowess and features like terrain management system, this beast is ready for anything. Speaking of versatile journeys, Maddy, let's talk about your own incredible ride. I want to know what is your Dubai journey. So we've now, of course, social media, we kind of find out who's where, what's happening.
Right.
First of all, right off the bat, congratulations on your son's success.
Oh, thank you.
As a parent, I know, like, my kid is playing netball, she scores 1 basket. I'm like, wow. The fact that he's got 5 medals for India and is doing so well, is that one of the reasons you're here? What brought you to Dubai? Why do you live here? And how's it going so far?
So you've hit the nail on the head. Vedant was training for his swimming in India before the COVID. And when COVID hit, all the pools were closed. I had read at a very early stage in my life, a Russian scientist has said that when the kids are in the growth spurt period, which is you will suddenly see their height increasing suddenly between the age group of 9 to 15. That's the growth spurt period. And that's the time that they need to exercise and eat right and do like really hard physical activity. And that's very important. Fortunately or unfortunately, Vedant's growth spurt hit right during the COVID period. And so we tried our best to find pools and everything. Till Sarita, my wife, said, you know what, I've had enough. The pools in Dubai are open. We've always wanted to go and have a look at Dubai and see what we can do. So she just packed the bags and left with Vedant in August of 2020, in the middle of COVID actually. And so I was like, hey, let's think this through.
You just followed suit, basically.
No, I was there because she came on her own first. And then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but Dubai being the safe place that it is, I wasn't too worried. But then when I followed suit after a while, I came here, I settled everybody down, and Vedant was swimming really hard. And during his growth spurt, we really, were able to do everything we wanted to. And then he excelled, and that's when he started getting the medals for India. So that's when we moved to Dubai, and it's been 4 years, and very grateful.
What a nice city! Like, I also shifted about 2021.
Yeah.
And safe place for my kids. My wife can drive.
Yes.
Lots of amazing people who are in the same boat. So it's very inclusive. Like, if you go out and you meet somebody who's a parent, they don't have their own friend circles and it's not cliquey. Everybody's open to meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, coffee? Okay, do you play paddle? And suddenly there's a group.
Yeah.
So have you found yourself doing things that you didn't get time for in India, or doing something that is very like part of your Dubai life?
Dubai is probably one of the most extraordinary cities in the world. Okay, and like all that you mentioned, the safety, the standard of living, the quality of the food, the kind of people that live here. All that is what everybody gets to see as soon as they enter Dubai. Okay, the cleanliness, for instance, the roads are so clean. It doesn't look like any part of Dubai is uncared for. If there is a plant, then there'll definitely be a spout of water near it to make sure it is getting, the nutrition. The kind of attention and care that this country and this city takes is exemplary. But I'm more enamored and overwhelmed by the vision of one man. I have been shooting in Dubai. For the past 25 years, I shot Dil Vil Pyar Vyar over here and many other films before that. I have seen the city grow and I've seen the vision happen, what I'm saying is true. The Google map has to change its mapping every week because because some new road has cropped up and they made it more efficient and stuff like that. But the vision of this one man, and what has happened in the last 25 years, it just instills a sort of confidence that if you have the vision and the passion, then nothing is impossible.
It can be done.
It can be
done and just execute.
Look at what he's done. It's incredible. There is something for everybody over here.
Infrastructure for sports and activities, and being active is just unbelievable. And that's something that I really like, that even after dinner, like, we just go to the beach, you can walk for like an hour, you can cycle around here. If you want to be active, you have everything. There's paddle courts, there's lots of indoor sports infrastructure. When people say, when it's hot here, people are still active, people are playing cricket indoors. And it's become, because back in the day when you were coming here to shoot, it was a place to visit.
Yes.
It was a place to come, shop and go. Now it's become a place to come and live.
Look at the innovation. In summer, when it is really hot and you're dying to take a walk, what they've done is they've opened up all the malls at 6 in the morning. They're already air conditioned.
There are beaches, night beaches with lifeguards in the night. Fully
floodlit. For walking in the morning, can you imagine opening up the mall? Like the Dubai Mall is opened at 5 or 6 in the morning, so you can take a walk around.
You can do 70 kilometers.
Yeah, you can do 70 kilometers.
Dubai Mall walking is crazy.
So, the kind of thoughts and innovation that keeps happening is very intriguing. For me, you're right. like I said, for everybody at any given point of time, there is something to do. I have to give you an example of last Sunday. I was in Abu Dhabi for a friend's birthday.
Okay.
We went out, got up in the morning at 7, went out for golf, came back by 9:30, 10, had our breakfast. I drove down to my friend Ajit's race that was happening at the Dubai Motor.
Yes, that's a question. The 24-hour race.
Yeah.
You were there. He
I was there for his finish. He came third and he made us proud. Yeah,
yes.
Incredible. I mean, that's a whole new chapter. We can talk about it for ages. I mean, incredible man, incredible grit, and what he's done. And for me, it was like it's a fan moment. So I came back and then we spent 3 hours there at the final moment of the race. Then my wife and my friends, we went out for a beautiful lunch late afternoon. Then we went out for a physical therapy and got a foot massage and stuff. And then I went out and played paddle in the evening.
You started
for
playing
2
paddle?
hours. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, in the evening we came back, watched a movie. I'm saying the sheer amount of activity that we could manage on that one Sunday without feeling I'm exhausted by the end of the day is something that only you can do probably in Dubai.
Do you like coffee?
I love coffee. I'm a coffee connoisseur.
You are, right?
Yeah,
Isn't this the place for it?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm gonna do? Whenever you're free, because I know your movie's lined up, which is what I want to talk to you about.
Sure.
But we're gonna go on a bike ride.
Right.
And we're gonna start discovering new coffee shops. We can do it once a week or once a fortnight.
That's a great
And
idea.
there's a couple of guys who are similar, in a similar boat, parents, Indian, and this situation. I think because I love coffee, and every time I go to a different area, different cafes, they're roasting their own beans, they're doing their own mixes, and it's not like a standardized coffee. Ki yahi milega har jagah, kadwa cheese, it's like so.
But it's very strange you bring that up because my next venture is coffee.
Maybe I've done my research. It's not strange. Maybe you said the what in depth. 1st of June 1970 when you're born.
Yeah, sweet man.
I also feel like growing up in I can say, an educated middle class family.
Right.
And then having the aspirations of, man, I'm going to do this in the world, going to Canada for a year in an exchange program, you're an NCC cadet there also, and you're a public speaker and all that. All those things. So I just want to know, like, when you're growing up, how much of that actually becomes the actor, the director? Because I feel all those life lessons was your schooling, right?
Very true.
So actor, you started doing courses, like teaching people how to do public speaking, model, and then that big film in 2000 with Mr. Mani Ratnam.
Yeah.
Then
Alai Bhai.
Hindi films, and then finally directed a film which you also got a national award for.
Right.
Which and the ISRO and rocketry is the film. So just briefly tell me a little bit about your childhood, how you think things that happened there, and how they helped you as an actor, model, director. Big question, sorry, a long
No, it's a very valid question. So I'm going to try and make it simple as I can with answering that, right? If you ask me if I had all these dreams when I was studying in Jamshedpur, I can tell you that my dreams were not that specific. It is impossible to actually navigate every aspect of your life that early on and expect what will happen. But I do remember one thing. Like, I remember the 3 principles that my parents told me and drilled in me. One is that never hurt anybody intentionally. Okay, so that was a primary for me. So that probably instilled a sense of just being nice to everybody. Why am I saying this? Because when I was being nice to people, I was acknowledging them. When I was acknowledging them, they were acknowledging me. When they were acknowledging me, the fact that I was making connections with people which was unexpected. People far underestimate the power of being polite and being social, right? For me, that was the biggest weapon. Meet people, look them in the eye, show that you're happy to meet them, and the opportunities come.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you create the opportunities. People don't interact, and then they're wondering why the opportunities don't come. The second thing my parents told me was never cheat anybody for money. Be very particular about money. Make sure that if you're giving a tip to somebody and you borrowed from somebody to give a tip, make sure you return that money. It doesn't matter how small the amount is. If a doctor is a friend of yours, you go for treatment and he says no money, make sure you pay him because that's his profession. You have to tell him that, you know what, I won't get cured till I pay you. So things like this that was very money-wise that kept the integrity of my commitment to money and the efforts being put behind it was another huge factor that opened up even greater opportunities. When people realize that Maddy is not there to sponge off you, or the fact that he takes care of his own, He's not, not the kind of guy who's going to take advantage of the fact that you're either wealthy or powerful.
Yeah.
The opportunities opened up even more because then they wanted to interact because they knew it was not meant.
Agenda nahi tha.
Agenda
There was no
nahi hai.
agenda.
A very
Yes.
important thing, I'm telling you. So I'm just summarizing my entire life and
Nice.
how I've come to this point. And so those two things that my parents said, I've never forgotten. And most importantly, she said, my parents told me that treat every human being equally, no matter what their stature. So I made sure that Vedant followed that principle. I still remember I was sitting in Mumbai about 2 months ago, and a driver was driving me around because my own driver was on a holiday. And this Tiwari ji said, "आपने हमको नहीं पहचाना भाई साहब?" मैंने कहा, "नहीं भाई साहब, माफ कीजिएगा। अरे हम आपके बेटे वेदांत को स्विमिंग पूल पे ले जाते थे जब आप यहाँ पे थे, आज 6-8 साल पहले की बात कर रहे थे।" I said, "Wow." And he said, "सर मैं आपके बेटे को कभी नहीं भूलूंगा। बाकी बच्चे आते थे, लिफ्ट में घुस जाते थे, गार्ड्स को देखते भी नहीं थे, और आपका बेटा था कि सबको नमस्ते बोलता था, हाय नमस्कार भाई साहब बोलता था, लिफ्ट वो बोलते समय and that was what my parents told me I should do."
I know as a parent, and I know my parents saying the same, that when that happens, you're more proud than anything else.
It is a good habit. It's definitely a good manners, and it's definitely a good philosophy of trying to acknowledge people.
Yes.
But it's also a great management technique. People never forget. In today's world with so many distractions, if you want opportunities that you want to grab onto, you need people to give you those opportunities.
So now in management schools,
Yeah.
they talk about soft skills.
Oh my God.
What you're saying,
Yes.
and this is another thing that I was fortunate enough to be born in. My dad was in the army. He's an Indian Army officer. The fact that all these soft skills are part of the culture. When you get out and you say, "Good evening, sir. Good morning, sir. Hello, ma'am. How are you?" Pull a chair, open the door. These are soft skills that, like you were saying, take you so far and beyond, and opportunities open. Just like your parents at a young age instilled in you. You've been able to do that with Vedant?
I hope so. I mean, he's doing well for himself, considering the fact that he could have had a very privileged life. But he's worked really hard, and we are very nervous talking about him because we keep our fingers crossed. He has a long way to go.
Yes.
But I do hope that those are the qualities that I've instilled in him, because overall, your sense of happiness comes with having these three pillars of philosophy in your life. So I'm answering your earlier question,
Yes.
which was, how did I achieve all these things? It was just that the right opportunity and my right preparation were met because of this good manners and good etiquettes and good skills. So I met Nambi Narayana like that. I met whatever achievements that I've managed to do. It's only because the personal skills were honed to a level where respect was the utmost factor when everybody connected with me.
So now, I mean, you have done some television called Banegi Apni Baag Mein, but it was like, at that time, it was the pop culture reference in India, right? Then films, Tamil films, Hindi films. Now I saw Shaitaan. Oh my God. Then Railway Men.
Yeah.
Talk about OTT platforms. And now you're doing a film, it's releasing soon.
Yeah.
Called Hisaab Barabar, releasing worldwide on Z5. 24th of January, Z5 pe Hisaab Barabar is coming. One, please tell us what the movie is about. What are you excited about? And how is it different? Because you've seen being popular on television, then you've seen that translate into box office. You've seen it in Tamil, you've seen it in Hindi, and now how did you kind of adjust or adapt to an OTT platform releases? Is it different?
Well, there are lots of questions in that one question.
Yes.
So let me first talk about Hisaab Barabar.
Yes.
Hisaab Barabar is about a guy who wanted to be an accountant, and he couldn't become because his father died untimely and he had to take up a government job.
Okay.
But his love and passion for numbers led him to the fact that he was helping people around him pay their income tax and do their, sort out their books so that the taxes are paid on time. Now, in today's world, we always get these messages on our phone where suddenly the bank message says, 6 rupees 18 paise credit to your account, or 12 paise 13, some odd numbers and you're even afraid to call the bank and ask them what it is, because it's 6 rupees, yaar, you don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
At one point of time, I remember I come from an era where the bank account book was, the proof was a passbook. A passbook had exactly what amount of money you have in your account. So you know at any given point in time exactly what was there in that account. And it was updated and stuff. If I ask you right now, amongst the innumerable accounts that you have? Do you know exactly how much money you have?
No, not exactly. No.
Yeah, and so somebody's skimming off that. And the repercussions of that. So this common man suddenly realizes that the common people, and the story starts in a very beautiful way, because we say there are two countries in the country we live in. One is India, and one is Bharat. When you say India, you're showing all the opulence, the IPL and India matches and everything. And you cut to the same space and you say Bharat, and there are four people arguing on the streets कि भाई I can't pay you, मतलब फूल के लिए आप हम 6 रुपए कब से हो गया 4 रुपए देंगे. People actually arguing for 4 rupees and 250 paise in fact. And so those two Indias also exist at the same time.
Coexist and in the same area.
In the
mostly.
same area. It's not
Yeah.
like they're in different parts of India. So when these two Indias are in these two countries or these two nationalities clash, and you see that the common man gets affected by the uncaring attitude of the opulent, what happens? Because history has been testimony to the fact that as long as the common man, whose dreams are very common, कि घर, कपड़े, खाना, मकान, अपने बच्चों को
बच्चे
पढ़ाओ,
खुश, हाँ.
बेटी की शादी अच्छे से करा लो, बेटा को अच्छे नौकरी धंधे कर लो, और फिर जो आपकी रिटायरमेंट का टाइम आ गया तो बेटे के साथ रहो और मंदिर जाओ और अपना, ये कॉमन मैन का ड्रीम है. The moment the policies start interfering with this simple dream of his, he brings down the nation. He brought down Rome, he brought down France, he brought down all the greatest revolutions in the world was because the common man got affected.
It's like, dude, let me just stay in my lane. Don't. But as soon as you interfere, and you're like, dude, now I'm going to show.
Now he becomes a power that nobody can stop. All the revolutions in the world is when the common man got affected. And when he gets affected, the cumulative power of those common people is so much that it can bring down dynasties.
When you read the script, was it an instant yes?
Yes, because absolutely. Because when I heard, the story that Shani ji told me, I looked at it and I said, yeah, this is true, because I'm really insecure about my bank account. I really don't know how much I have and how much I can afford to scrutinize it, because I don't know what will come out of it. So, जहाँ मोटा मोटी ठीक है भैया, वहाँ तक हम रख लेते हैं. And so I realized that this is something that is going to affect everybody.
How do you choose your scripts or a movie or a project that you do? Is it just the script? Is it the director, production, or everything?
My criteria has changed over a period of time, probably because owing to the stature in which I'm able to command in terms of the budget of the films or the releases. But definitely the first attribute that I look at is the reason that a project is being made. At my position, I have the liberty to say no to projects, right?
Yes.
So the first thing I want to see is it intent? Is it being made because everybody's dates and everybody's availability and the script and everything has fallen in place, so it looks like a positive project on paper, and so let's get it done. Those kind of projects don't interest me too much, because the desire to make the film is not because they want to tell a story, it's because they want to pull out a product, and there's nothing wrong with that. People
because that's the business.
Yeah, that's the business. But that sends alarm signals in my brain, and I keep thinking I won't fit into that sort of a situation. Once the intent of making the story is correct, if the director wants to tell a story, the producer believes in that story, and they both are out there to get the story out in the world, that ticks a big box in my selection process. The second thing is, how much has the director done the research? How keen are they on the right casting? Most importantly, is the medium in which they want to present the film correct? Is it the right film for a theatrical release? Is it the right film as a film is for an OTT release? Is it the right project to be made into an 8-episode series? So I can't take a series like Breathe, which was my first OTT venture, and try to make it into a film, however brilliant the script is.
Because there was so much to say.
So much to say and so much to build up.
Yeah, and so what a wonderful series that was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, and then, you see a film like Thanu's one and you think, it's got the ability to go to the theatres, and that's why you need to make it theatre worthy.
And just laughs. Your question hurt me. Like, again, pop culture reference. We talk to each other sometimes and we say dialogues from Tanu words, Manu 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Just to know, your question hurt
I
me.
know.
Stuff like, when you're in the mental asylum.
Yeah.
And somebody calls this guy, he's like, अरे भैया को निकाल लिया मैंने सोचा लंदन आया थोड़ा घूम ही लूं and you're in it's crazy like how it was even your fight in the beginning. Anyway, so I don't want to fanboy too much.
No, I'm very flattered.
No, but the kind of work, now I think I can make some sense out of. That's why when you do a railway man, you're like, okay, this makes sense because the story has to be told over a series. It can't be a movie.
No, you see the intent.
Yeah.
Yashraj doesn't need to do something like that. They spent an exorbitant amount of money to make those series. You know, it was a tough thing to shoot.
Yeah.
And he's a first-time director. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the director, it was his first project. He could have easily, because being part of Yashraj and so close to the family and the company, he could have chosen to make a big commercial film with a big director, and I'm sure it would have been greenlit. But he decided to make this movie. And he has no connection to either the railways or to Bhopal. Or to this story in any way. And so when a young director picks up something like that, I know it's passion driven.
And you know the
I know
intent.
that, yeah, boss, this guy, yeah, he's going to do it. Because, you know, he's gotten that responsibility. He's eating, sleeping, breathing that subject. It can't go wrong. The intent cannot go wrong. And when the intent is right, the project cannot go wrong.
Oh, lovely. That's, I think, for a lot of people who are who want to be actors, directors, storytellers, I think they'll definitely gain from that.
I hope so.
Intent has to be right. Going further, what are we going to see you do? More acting, more chilling, directing? Well, the question is actually, are we going to see you directing more?
Yeah, it's been a popular
Question.
demand that I've heard for a long time. But I'll tell you this, rocketry was a passion project. It was something that I understood everything about. It was something that I understood about the man. I have absolutely no technical qualifications to direct a film. I've never been to an editing studio. I've said this before.
Do you like to fish? Because you're fishing for many compliments right
No,
now.
no, brother. I'm trying to say this with an intent that people who want to tell a story have to realize that they don't need to be armored with these so-called required experiences to tell a story. That's the whole purpose. I'm not trying to fish.
And the fact that you've been around for so many years, you have basic, above average knowledge of how things have to work, right? You'll get the right DOP, you'll get the right
No,
team.
I actually want to contradict what you're saying.
Okay.
As I didn't expect to be an actor, and especially, you know, get my debut with Maddy. So when it all happened, I was amused at myself. And I was just playing along, you know, and I was learning on the way. What I wanted to tell you was, when I wanted to tell the story of rocketry, I did not possess technically on paper the skills required to produce or direct or write or act in a film like that. So what I ended up doing was, I learned on the job. I heard very clearly what Tarantino once said, that, you know, you just have to have a story and a vision, and then your job is to find the right people to do that for you. That's all you have to supervise. Give somebody the responsibility. Don't, you know, mollycoddle them or, you know, micromanage them. They will give you, if you have the right person, they will give you what you have expected with your vision. So what I wanted to say is that when you have a story to tell and you have the passion and your belief that you know what story you're saying, all these skills kind of fall in place. So you don't have to wait for acquiring these skills.
Wow.
You know, you just have to find the right people to do it.
So has another kind of story ignited a passion for you to tell it?
No. So now I'm afraid that I'll be called out as a very average director if I attempt on something that I have no knowledge about. And right now, my acting kida is on full swing right now.
How difficult was it to do Shaitaan? Now this is the other thing.
No, it was very easy.
Really?
It was really easy.
You're doing the Jadoo, Tona, and how much does that genre excite you? Because
a lot, because I'm from Jamshedpur, Bihar. You know, a large part of small town India is full of all this, right?
Jadoo, Tona.
But for me to be able to do what I did in Shaitaan, which was being produced by Ajay Devgan, he was the hero. And he, you know, on the first day of shoot, I said, sir, is it okay if I go overboard? If you have to, jo karna hai, kar yaar. And I knew as an actor, as a hero, it is so difficult to take somebody insulting you on screen. Somebody overpowering you on screen, especially when you're producing it and you're a much bigger hero than the guy doing it, right? But he allowed me to do it, and he did it in such a gracious way that I went out full hog on it. And so much so, if you look at what I'm going to say, after the film, we didn't have a title for the film till we finished shooting and the publicity started. Ajay saw the film, and Ajay sir, and he said that this film, it's all about Maddy and his character. So let's call it Shaitaan. And he called it Shaitaan. He told me, Maddy, I'm going to call the film Shaitaan after your character, and I want to make sure that the trailer and the teaser is about you.
What a guy, huh?
You see?
What a secure...
That euphoria that you said, what a guy with, is what I feel all the time when I'm in the set with him.
Working with Ajay sir, I've worked in a different capacity. I was in a film called London Dreams.
Yeah, of course.
Where there's Salman Bhai, Ajay sir, and me and Aditya are part of the band. we were just like taken care of as little brothers by
Yeah.
both of them. Like
Yeah.
this, right? But this, to see the security and again achieve so much.
Yeah.
has
It's a learning process
great
for me
vision.
too. I want some younger actor to say the same thing about me if I can.
I'm pretty sure they say it.
I haven't had an opportunity to work with it, if I do.
Pretty sure they say
Yeah.
it. But this is great. So he saw the film, he saw what you did,
Huh.
and he said, "This film's about Maddy. Let's name it," and it worked.
It worked. It worked,
Wow.
and you need a lot of guts to do something like that. So Shaitaan was not a difficult film for me to do, but I'm going to come to the question that you asked, which is what next. So I was so choosy that I realized that I had become mundane and very boring around 2010 and 11 with the kind of films that I was doing.
Okay.
Because the kind of stories that were made were not. I could see around the corner and see the audience is going to change dramatically post the social media era. And my directors and the storytellers were not giving me those kind of stories, and I didn't have the ability to enamor the audience with my ability to dance, like the other heroes could, action and dance. So I was looking for my niche. Then I took a break. So in the last 14 years, from 2011 to almost 22 or 21, from 2010 onwards, I've only done 4 films. In fact, in Hindi, I've barely done more. I've done Tanu Veds Manu Returns.
The Returns was when you came back after 3 years to do
4 years of,
yeah,
it
I
is.
remember that.
And then I did Rocketry, and then Dhoka, and now Shaitaan. So 4 or 5 films in the last 12 years. And in the last 2 years, I've done 9 projects. So now I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm also excited because every
Yes.
one of them is so different.
Oh,
every
lovely.
one of them is character driven, every one of them is new directors mostly. And I'm so excited about the content that's going to come out. I'm sure people are going to get a little bored about seeing me on screen, but
No, they
those that
won't.
were complaining will have no more complaints.
They will. We're all just waiting for you because you do different things. So in the middle, I saw Breathe also. So that was not a movie, but you. I have a personal question.
Sure.
My kids are 8 and she's 8 today, and my son's 3.
Oh, happy birthday to her.
Thank you. So
What's her name?
Kainat.
Kainat, happy birthday to you.
I am trying to. I live here. I don't work here except for just doing this cool piece where I can, chill with somebody who's cool, get to know their story, get inspired, share. Trying to work less to spend more time with the kids because till they're 14, I want to be around as much as I can. And then, like, I'm just seeing this example that you actually turned it up in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So, what is the key to that? Because I'm still trying to do some relevant stuff, a couple of Netflix series, some roadies. But
my suggestion to you, my brother, is that there will be enough time, or there will never be enough time to spend with your kids. There will never be.
So,
okay,
I'm on the right path.
No, I'm saying don't take the career lightly at this point in time. I think that this is a very Western concept that I have to spend quality time with the kids and everything. All your job is to make sure you treat them with the right teach them the right family values. When my son came to me he was 6 years old and said, "Papa, you're not spending quality time with me," and I said, "Look at that man, my father over there. He never spent quality time with me either. He didn't come to my baseball games because we didn't have bloody baseball. He didn't come to school. He was there when I needed him. He was there as a pillar of strength philosophically. He was there as a person when I needed support, and he funded what I wanted to do. But he instilled the qualities. I love that man dearly, and I'm going to make sure that I'm the best son possible for him till as long as he lasts." So I said, "Vedant, if you expect me to be this cosmetic father who will come to all your school games and expect, that's not going to be me, because I have a profession that does not allow me to do that. But if you ever need any help, if you ever need me to be there for anything, I'm just a message away, because no matter how much of a blunder you do, how much of a mistake you do, I will always be on your side. I will try and solve the problem if you tell me earlier on that you made a blunder or a mistake. That I hope that I've instilled that confidence that you can come to me with anything. But apart from that, live life like an Indian kid. Go out, play. Don't feel insecure about the fact that people are telling you, "Oh, my father did this, my father didn't do that." I could have done so many things, but I don't regret it at all.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What a great answer, because it's unlike what everybody's trying to preach now.
Don't do that, brother, because the moment you withdraw yourself and treat your career so lightly, you will not do justice to either of it.
Did you get a license here?
Yeah, first thing.
Because that is the one thing that is celebrated here more than your 10-year visa, golden visa.
I got my driving license, I got my bike license, I got my captain's license for the boat.
That's the
all
other
three.
thing.
Yeah,
I
all
want to
three.
ask you that even if you have if you're well off, right, and you're doing well in life, there's some things that you couldn't do in Mumbai.
Yeah.
right? You now, sir, are a captain,
Thank you.
right? And you have a boat.
Yes. Yes.
Please tell us something about
So
that.
yeah, I said that on one of the podcasts, and everybody thinks I have this huge yacht, which is a luxury yacht and everything. I don't have that. I have a simple small boat, which is enough for the family. But I always wanted to have a captain's license, and I wanted to make every year significant with a new skill that I've learned. So during COVID, my new skill that I learned was getting the captain's license and being able to navigate a boat and
And
captain
did you have
it.
any experience before that?
No,
Any
nothing, zero.
maritime?
Nothing.
Wow.
So it's not that difficult. You
And-
just sit and study for 10, 15 days, and you give the exams, and you do the practicals, and they give you a license.
You are a dexterous person. You can sit down and just study and put your mind towards something for 15, 20 days, months, and you learn it.
Bro, that is the. If you ask me the reason for my position right now, and I think I should advocate that to you and everybody watching, you have to research. It doesn't
to
mean
study,
you have to
right?
you have to
Yeah.
study a lot and do it in matters that you don't even realize you're spending time doing research. That's the line for you.
Yeah.
If you feel like अरे यार 4 घंटे से मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, that wrong line. आपको लग रहा है कि पता ही नहीं चला 8 घंटे कैसे निकल गए. That's the right research you're doing. So I would always advocate that. But coming back to Dubai, people often come here and say, it's so commercial. Or sometimes they accuse it of being synthetic. And I tell them that there are actually 3 Dubais.
Okay.
The first Dubai is the ones that the tourists get to see. The touristy locations, the malls, the Museum of the Future, the deep dive, everything that you want to go and shop and everything.
Yeah.
And you will never get to be part of the second Dubai. The second Dubai is the expats, the 90 odd percentage of people who live in the UAE. Their culture is completely different, which I'm sure you're privy to.
Yes.
The fact that you go to the schools, the parents that meet in schools, the kind of restaurants we frequent are not the ones that are frequented by the tourists.
Yes.
We know where the hole in the walls are.
Yeah.
There is a culture among the, which is one of the greatest strength of this, because I remember Vedant had a friend who was a Palestinian, who was a German, who was a French, who was a Pakistani, he was all sorts of nationalities in school, and he gets to learn about every one of them.
It's multicultural, you're right.
Multicultural, and the evolving culture of those nations and those people, which is a very important soft skill to communicate today, right? So that's the kind of second of Dubai, and then then the activities that we get to do, the kind
Paddle,
of lifestyle we lead, paddle, sailing, biking, golfing, and then also the social service that you get to do over here. It's just beautiful. That life a normal tourist doesn't get to see. So for him, it looks synthetic or plasticky. But when he comes to see this aspect of life, he's blown over and overwhelmed.
Yes.
The safety, the security, the fact that you can go to the beach, you can see all the activities you ever wanted to do happen is the beauty of the second Dubai. And the third Dubai is the locals Dubai, the ones that actually run the country. They keep to themselves. No matter how close you get to them, there's always they know who they are. They make sure that you're taken care of comfortably. There's justice and legality and everything. But that Dubai, we will never get into an insight into. The 7-8% of the locals, they have a very close knit, a family sort of a thing, and they run this nation with such a lot of pride and dignity. Remarkable that none of us will ever get an insight into, which are the 3 Dubais that I have figured out.
You put it up pretty aptly, correctly, and I think this piece could be the opening montage of the Dubai journey.
Yeah,
Right? Just
possibly.
what is Dubai about, and it's gonna be like
Yeah.
Maddy's 3 takes. And but I'm totally enjoying the second kind of Dubai. You're so correct. And you know what happens? A lot of our friends. By the way, we're living in Mumbai for so long. All my friends from before, the ones we've grown up with in boarding schools and stuff like that, they don't visit you so much because at the end of the day, what can you do with me in Mumbai? You're at home, we'll eat and drink at home,
Yeah.
or we'll go out and eat and drink, but you can't really do activities. So we get a lot of visitors, especially from November to March.
I know.
Just visitors.
I know, man. I know.
They are tourists, so they do those 2-3 days, and then they hang out with us.
Yeah.
And then they are, like you said, blown away.
Blown
They're like,
away,
yeah, kya life hai to- how?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's like living in a resort for the whole year.
Yeah.
Right? And kids are going for different. I'm doing jujitsu with my daughter suddenly.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and you don't have the infrastructure in other places.
So yeah, like my son is into basketball as well. So
Oh,
just
lovely.
to shoot hoops with him outside my house was a luxury that I could not imagine anywhere else. Listen, please don't mistake me. I mean, India and other countries, mostly India, has a charm of its own that can never be paralleled. Okay, but there is a oneness to it. There is a sort of an excitement of being an Indian in your society, your culture, and the Ganpati
Playing
pujas,
cricket in the building.
playing cricket in the building, and the charm, and the neighbors sharing food, and all that is, you can never take away from that. That's something which is brilliant. But it's also good to have this. The second Dubai as part of your life, and
what's happening?
We're very blessed to be able to do that.
My case is, in your case, I'm guessing, is because a lot of my work is back home. Spending 10 to 15 days going back, and I get that fix of India.
Yeah.
I feel like if I wasn't getting that fix,
I
wouldn't be enjoying the what we're talking about. And because I get the boys come over, we go, we do chat pe jaake, all of that is happening is why I feel like, because if I start missing out on the India. Then it could be.
No, then you lose your identity.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, at the end of the day, even if you're in Dubai or any part of the world, you're first an Indian, which is something that is very good. And then people like Indians because we are great citizens as well. We contribute positively to every place that we are
to the society,
and our request. But you can't help but feel if this kind of discipline can be maintained by Indians in this country, then why not back in our own country? Why do we cut lanes there? That's a thing that I believe that. Well, I think one of the reasons they do that is because in Dubai they're very strict also. You make a mistake and you get fined.
600 dirhams is a lot of money. 600 dirhams straight away.
For people watching in India, 600 dirhams is like 12,000 rupees.
12,500, 14,000 depending on,
You make a small mistake, that's how much you pay. So I think it's...
And there's no paying off anybody.
No way.
That's, That's getting deported. So, now you're in Dubai, doing movies across 9 projects are coming out. Hisaab Barabar is actually going to be released worldwide on Z5. You've been coming to Dubai for promotion and stuff like that. So this is like now you're not going to Dubai to promote a film. You're just getting out of your house. It feels good to be also active around here. You're doing stuff here.
Yeah, I am. No. All my work is in India. All my taxes are paid in India. Everything is mostly 90% over there. Some of the appearances that I have are in Dubai off and on, but apart from that, all the work is back home in India.
How much do you travel back in a month on average?
Oh, I spend a fair amount of time doing my movies, close to 5-6 months in a year. Less than 6 months because as an NRI, one has to be careful. But yeah, about easily 5.5 months easily. And the rest of the time of the year, I'm enjoying myself.
And also, when you go back, it's not just Mumbai. It's also depending on
wherever we're shooting.
Tamil film. Tamil terima?
I love it.
I just said it.
I
just said it. I'll tell you why. Because my dad was posted in Chennai in the Officers Training Academy, and then we were in Wellington when I was really young. He was in OT and then the DSSC. So as an army officer's kid, you pick up a couple of things.
Of course.
Like I can say Tani Kundava.
Yeah.
And I have the accent.
Yeah, I know.
So. Now going forward, weather's amazing here.
Yes.
If Maddy sir is free, not promoting, like after your promotion today,
right?
Any given Sunday or Saturday, what do we catch you doing? Where are you eating? Where are you picking up your snacks?
No, so eating is at home mostly. I think I've exhausted that aspect in the last 2 months. Like you rightly said, there were so many visitors. We've been to every restaurant and nook and corner possible. So I have to get into shape for my next one. So it's home food. Actually, like you said very correctly, December, January is a very strenuous month for residents of Dubai. So we have made a pact amongst our own friends who live here that we will not invite each other to home for anything because there are so many guests as it is.
Yes.
That you're already moving and you need about 20 days of cleansing before you can get back to normalcy.
That's a good one.
So none of the friends invite each other home for dinner, or no matter what the event is or occasion is or birthday it is. We postpone it to a time when everybody is cleansed of all the debauchery that has happened in the new year, and then we meet each other.
So what kind of restaurants? What do you?
I'm a vegetarian, so my restaurants are limited. So if you'd ask me the names of the restaurants, I'm kind of lost with that. But I let my wife do all that. I just go there, eat, and pay the bill.
Lovely. And like the South Indian is good here. You've got a lot of Indian food, Pakistani food, Lebanese food. Do you do a lot of shawarmas and Lebanese food here? You're trying everything?
Vegetarian, so limited again.
Falafel?
Yeah, falafels. Yeah, but I've done that, been there. I mean, been coming here for 25 years, so I've done that. But I was telling you, I'm getting into South Indian coffee, South Indian filter coffee. And that is very exciting because I've looked all over high and low in Dubai, and I haven't really found a true South Indian filter coffee with decoction and like the chicory. And I'm hoping that I'm able to find the right concoction and bring it to Dubai.
So are you doing the research there in India
All
right
done.
now?
The product is ready.
And
I'm
you're
going to
getting
be
it
launching it. Yeah.
All right. So when you're launching it, we can do another.
Absolutely.
Another-
First, I'll make you taste it and see if it's worth it or not.
Or we can also just ride and actually start with sampling your coffee first.
Let's do that.
Right?
Let's
And get
do
a
that.
couple of other boys.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to ride with us.
Yep.
Have a coffee.
Mm.
Wow, that's amazing. Have you been to the desert at all? Like, have you done the?
What do you think riders do?
No,
Get
no,
into the
in
bike?
the evening with like
Yeah.
families grilling and all that.
Yeah.
So we can. Wow.
See, those are the been there, done that stuff about Dubai. Like every year we try to find something new that we haven't done. For example, you sail to the World Island or slates, go to a nook and corner of Jebel Ali Palm where it's being constructed, and you find a corner over there, spend a great family time on places like that. So we've done the touristy thing over and over again. My
Lovely.
wife actually went and did skydiving last week.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she had to tick that box. So my son and my wife, they went and did that. So it's all
What
fun.
about you? Have you done that yet?
No, not yet. I'm in the middle of movies. Contractually, I'm not allowed to do anything adventure sport till I finish the film.
Fair. And a lot of people don't know that, like there are times when athletes, I've met athletes and all, and they're like, oh, I can't ride a bike. I'm like, why can't you ride a bike? And they're like, because it's in my contract that
Yeah.
I can't ride a super bike.
Yeah. So, and I think it's fair enough. When so much money is riding on you, you don't want to do stupid things.
Yeah.
But in between films, I'm always do that.
Now that you're saying you're going to get into shape, this is another place where there are so many different things
Yes.
that you can do to just burn the calories, fun ways of walking, cycling. What are you going to lean on most?
So this is another thing about Dubai that people might not know. The latest of technologies are first introduced in this place, right? So all the latest of health updates, medical updates, electronics, all get you never feel like I'm going to wait for that technology to come here.
So what are you getting into? Like, are you doing cryo chambers?
Cryo chamber is my favorite, absolutely. But for my fitness, for my age and what I'm capable of doing, I think it's just eating right and taking lots and lots of walk. So golf helps me do that quite a bit. And then eating food correctly. And then exploring many different, like now the infusions are coming in and they're talking a lot about it. So I'm doing the research on the infusions to see which are helpful. I have completely changed the way I eat, for instance. I've done enough research to understand that I do not eat till I'm hungry. I don't eat on time.
Let's. I'm 41.
Yeah.
And I got here what you're saying at 39, a couple of years ago.
Good for you.
I eat sometimes after 16 hours, after 18 hours, because I did a lot of research on how humans were hunter-gatherers and how there's regeneration when you're fasting and this and that, and only this eating excessively is a product of the last 100 years.
Oh no! I'm
Right.
I'm making a video on that, and you should understand the reason why timely eating was first invented,
Yes.
and the dubious reason behind it.
To sell more, even the breakfast of champions. This breakfast is not for. Anyway, this is another.
No, this conversation. I'm making a video on it. I think
Okay.
it'll be quite because the research. You cannot prove me wrong. I've gone to the greatest medical people around the world, and I said, "This is what. Tell me where I'm wrong," and they have gone into a deep thought. And none of them, from the top medical things, have not been able to say that I'm wrong. They're not able to say if I'm right, but they're definitely not able to say I'm wrong.
Guys, I'm going to get Maddy sir back on the Dubai journey. We're going to talk about his coffee. We're going to talk about this research that he's done.
Yeah.
But for now, I just want to wish you all the best for your
Thank
next
you.
release and
Thank
all
you.
the other 8 projects after this. This is going to be on Z5 on the 24th.
Yes, Hisaab Barabar on
Hisaab
24.
Barabar,
I'd
looking
like to
forward
say
to
a big shout out to my co-stars in Hisaab Barabar who have been great, and my director who's had an unfortunate and very tragic incident in his life, and I hope that he can recover from it very quickly.
God bless.
God bless him. And thank you so much for doing the research on me, brother.
Thank
very
you so
kind
much,
of you.
sir. So happy to meet you, and I'm going to definitely hit you up when you're free in Dubai.
You bet.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.